Hello, beautiful souls. How y'all doing today? If you're new here, welcome. I'm Brainy, and this is Brainy Twin Gemini, where we talk about unconditional love, the purest form of love, soul health, growth, prosperity, all good things. Today, I will be doing a message as it resonates for twin flame, soulmate, divine love, fated connection, however you reconcile this beautiful gift of love in your heart. I do everything from a masculine perspective, what's in their current heart space. If they could say anything at the moment, what would it be? And the overall energy of this beautiful, dynamic love collective. So I'm going to get started. This, as I said, and I keep continuing to say, this universe is just exploding right now. I want to say with love, energy, all sorts of beautiful things. Something very dynamic is shifting in our world in general, but it is having a very positive impact on your connection. More as it resonates for the masculine, because I want to say that the masculine, some of these masculines are waking up from a deep sleep, and their awakening has accelerated. So when you come into each other, you start that awakening process. It's very abrupt, it's very fast. Some go back to sleep, but I feel like many of them are wiping the sleep from their eyes, and they're awakening and getting back on track on their awakening journey. And as they awaken, they come to some very, I want to say, deep truths about themselves. So stuff that they may have been denying about themselves, pushing it down. They're facing the truth of their reality, and that truth is helping them restore the faith in themselves, because many of them have lost faith in themselves throughout their journey of life, and they're just restoring that faith in oneself, in source, God, divine, universe. And it's very beautiful. But one of the things that they are restoring their faith in is, as you know, this is not an easy journey. It isn't a fairy tale. This concept, twin flame concept journey, it's kind of like trending out there. I don't know why, because if I had known way back when what I was going to go through, I probably would have ran the other way. But I did go through the vigor and the obstacles, and by the grace of God, we're together today. But it is a very tumultuous journey, and it is not what many people say it is. It is the purest form of love you will ever encounter, but you have to get to purity in order to be back in physical harmony of each other. And sometimes that's really tough. And one of the things that the masculine has wrestled with, and I feel you do too, feminine, merely just energy. Don't get caught in that spiritual trap of energy. You navigate predominantly with one energy on this journey, but ultimately you're meant to come to that harmonious balance of each. And this masculine really wrestles with this connection in the fact that they feel it's one-sided, and they feel that the love they feel for you is not reciprocated, and it is a fabrication and a story in their mind, in their heart. And with this awakening, the further you endeavor the journey, the more you come into the truth of what this truly is. And that's one of the things that they're kind of wrestling with right now. And I can tell you, when we were in physical separation, I felt that many times. And, I just navigated the journey with faith and love. And, that's all you can do, is have that faith. I think this is brought to you sometimes that it is the divine time, God's time, but maybe it might not be the ideal time for you. And it just throws you for a loop. But I really do feel like some of the masculines that went to sleep are, as I said, waking up, wiping the sleep from their eyes, and endeavoring their journey. And sometimes what puts them back to sleep is karmic toxicity, partners, all sorts of things, jobs, friends, family. It could be anything, because we navigate our journey in life in a very low vibration. So it's easy to go back to sleep. because a lot of people are sleeping. So it's easy to get down to that, I want to say, plane. But they are awakening. If they could say anything to you, what would it be? And they understand the awakening. They understand what they're going through. They understand that there's higher consciousness, and they want you to know that they have, I want to say, reconciled with their higher self. So higher self is, I always like to put it as higher consciousness, but it's also that intuition, that inner guide, that voice within. And sometimes we don't listen to it. And this masculine really wants you to know that they're getting intimate with their higher self. They're understanding it. They're doing research on it. They're not denying it anymore. And that wisdom of the higher self is helping them with this temporary crossroads in your journey. And this crossroads right now that they're facing is feeling that this is very one-sided. But they want you to know that they have passion, commitment, loyalty to this connection. And they want you to know that in their heart, it's true love. No one has ever touched them, moved them like you have. And they want you to know that. So very, very beautiful. A couple of other messages for you beautiful loving souls is, again, they want you to know that they feel like they're spinning their wheels, and this totally resonates with this one-sidedness. So for every 2 steps forward they take in faith, they take 1 step backwards, because there's always that voice or that rubbish of the thought that kind of, I don't know, it sets you back. And I always say, if you follow the voice of the heart, you truly, that should be your GPS in this in your journey. And when the rubbish of thought creeps in, just push it away with a loving thought. Just basically say, you're not welcome here, and just get back into that loving heart space. They also want you to know that they're seeing the signs, synchronicities. They all remind me of you. So that's part of the awakening process. And every time they see these signs, they think of you. They realize that these signs and synchronicities are not a coincidence. And as they awaken, they are seeing them more and more frequently. They also wanted you to know that when I was in your physical presence, I was my true, authentic self. Exactly that. When you come into each other in the beginning of this connection, in physical, I want to say in physical body, you are your true, authentic self. Because God removes all those barriers for you to see what you're meant to be, who you're meant to be. And unfortunately, it's not sustainable, because this is a journey to oneself. And there's a lot of obstacles that have to be removed in order to you to get to that purity and that innocence and restoration of your soul. Because some of you have been beaten down in your journey of life. And you were brought this gift, even though sometimes it doesn't feel that way, to come back into that purity and that innocence. So when you come together, you are your true authentic self. But then I'm sure many of you can relate or resonate to when you first came into each other. It was so overwhelming. It was like your heart was going to burst out of your chest, and when you come together, you come in very fast and very furious, and then things start to dwindle. And when that communication starts to dwindle, when that physical presence starts to remove itself out of your orbit, you start feeling this sense of helplessness. It's tough, but it's just one of those necessary components of this journey. They also want you to know that they love you to infinity. This love has no end, it has no labels, it has no barriers, it's unconditional, it's infinite, and they want you to know that they love you to infinity. So very, very good message. I love it so much. I have felt like some of the masculines have gone back to sleep, no fault of their own. We have to live life in the 3rd dimension, and we don't navigate our human form in the third or in any other dimension but the third dimension. We can travel outside of this dimension where time is limitless and all sorts of beautiful things, but we can easily get trapped in this vortex. So very, very beautiful. As many of you know, there's so much that needs to go on in this journey, and purity and innocence is one of those things. You go through a complete awakening, Kundalini activation, purity cleansing. That's the chakras, body connections, however you resonate. There's 7 of them. Starts at the base of the spine, navigates to the top of the head, the crown. There's no right or wrong way to maneuver the purity and the cleansing of the chakra systems. It is, however, it is meant to be in your moment of time in life. So don't also get caught up in it. Well, it has to start at the root chakra. It starts where you need the most, I want to say, cleansing and what you need restoration with. And I feel like when you both come into each other, you activate the third eye right away. And then that starts purifying, and you'll have like clear fluid coming out of your eyes, nose, ears, just crazy stuff. And that will continue until it's pure. And I remember when I was in physical separation, I had no allergies. I had this pure, like, white, weird stuff coming from my nose for over a year and I want to say a year and a bit. And then once that stopped, it was several months later that I was with my beautiful, beloved soul. But the body connection that's clearing and purifying today is the crown chakra. And it's located at the top of the head. It governs the pineal gland and the upper brain. When developed, it brings us knowledge, wisdom, understanding, spiritual connection, and bliss. And I love this one specifically because the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding, but spiritual connection and bliss. Spiritual connection is getting closer to God, source, universe, divine, however you resonate. This is a soul journey to spirit. And once you get there, you feel this sense of bliss, enlightenment, nirvana, and it's very, very difficult to stay there. You can travel there, get there, you'll have these moments of bliss and just pure love, and then the journey of life that we live in, it can be easily taken away. It's very difficult to get there, very, very difficult. But when you do get there, you'll know. I'll throw up the crown chakra video within this video, and I always say you owe yourself a few times a day just to free your mind and just breathe. And even if you do for 5 minutes, inhale, count to 4, exhale, count to 6, you'll see it'll work wonders in just removing the rubbish from your mind. And that can be the nemesis, the rabbit hole on your journey. So what's the overall message of this beautiful, dynamic love collective? I want to say right now that there's some very uncomfortable energy going on collectively. And this is because many of you, without even realizing it, you're removing some third-party blocks. Now, third-party blocks has to do with sometimes karma and clearing karma. And what you've been selected for a very, very important journey. And what you do is you clear karma. And that is paving the way for your future descendants to live a life without all of the family ancestry of karma. If you're not sure what karma you need to clear, do a family tree. See if some of your family members have been in the war and they suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Is there any form of like chronic addiction in your family? Abuse? Those are the things that you need to clear, and it's tough. And I always resonate, and this is just me personally, I've written everything in journals, that clearing karma kind of resonates with the dark night of the soul. And you'll be like in a blissful state, and then all of a sudden, you'll have this overwhelming sense of sadness. And then you just start, the tears start flowing. Well, for every tear that falls, you're healing the karma. And not everyone can do this because it's tough, tough, tough. And it may happen one time or 10 times. It takes as long as it needs to. So again, there's no right or wrong way to navigate your journey. This is your journey. We all have a different soul DNA. So naturally our journey is going to be different. I'm merely just a messenger here to help you guide yourself to the truth, because there's many, I want to say, parasites, I guess, and they're leading you astray. They're leading you down a wormhole. And once you get down there, it's very difficult to get out. So tough, 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 but that is so essential in order for you to come out to your true authentic self. Like I said, I was on my knees a number of times. I think the last time I went through it was in July, the end of July. I was out in the backyard, and it was beautiful, and I love being in nature. And I was just in this moment of nirvana, like it was so beautiful. And then just like that, I was in this deep sadness, and I was crying and crying and crying. And I'm like, what is this all about? And I was having some very dark thoughts. It lasted for about 10 minutes. And I kept looking at this tree, and then I snapped out of it, and I realized that I was clearing karma for some guilt and shame of my family because my father's sister had drowned when she was 9. So there was a lot of pain, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. And after I did that in July, I just felt free for my family. And it was a couple of months after that my twin and I came back into physical embodiment. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I want to talk about the 5D connection. You're both very busy in the 5th dimension. How do you know if you're in the 5th dimension? Well, it's difficult. I used to meditate deep, 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 breathing, obviously longer than 5 minutes. I would be in it could be a good deep hour of meditation. And I would see just these weird, vivid colors and tunnels and very, very bizarre. And all of these profound, deep messages used to come to me. I felt my twin's thoughts. I could hear them. I could feel the energy. This is a wild journey, and you're very connected right now, and you're supporting each other in that dimension. When you're in sleep state, you're unconscious. And believe it or not, you travel outside and you visit each other. Your souls do. Very connected. And sometimes when you wake up, you have this, I feel like we were together feeling. That's you, both of you, traveling to each other. And I want to say when you're in deep sleep states, very, very beautiful. And lastly, you're triggering energy. And as I said, it could be uncomfortable because of this clearing karma. You're both doing it simultaneously. And so you're triggering, and you're kind of mirroring each other's, I want to say, clearing karma. So beautiful message overall. And as many of you know, signs saying serendipity, part of your day to day. You see numbers like crazy and so many things. And it's really, really at the forefront of the masculine right now. But the feminine animal spirit message today is ant, spirit, time to collaborate. How I resonate this is ants obviously work together. They're not one of my favorite insects, but it's time to collaborate. And what I feel about this particular message for the feminine energy is I feel like you've been in hermit mode, and that's perfectly fine. I was pretty much a hermit for a year and a half, but it's time just to get out and collaborate with some, like-minded souls, do something, collaborate, share your story. And with like-minded people, not everybody understands this journey, and not everyone will. It's a very, very tough journey, and like I said, sleeping folk, they don't understand. So share your story and maybe just comment on this video. Time to collaborate. And the masculine animal spirit message today is stag, spirit, take the lead. And I feel like it's almost like both of you are running in the Olympics and one has the torch. And the feminine is always in the lead, kind of. And that's just the dynamic of the journey. And it's now time for the masculine to take the lead. And I completely resonate with awakening, faith, truths, all sorts of things, higher selves. So they're finally taking that lead in their particular life at this moment in time. And what is the overall energy message for your beautiful, loving souls? And it is whale, spirit, trust, the great mystery. This journey is full of ups and downs. It's full of unknowns. It's truly a mystery. You'll often sit there and ponder and go, why? Like, why did this come to me at this moment in time just to be taken away? It just doesn't really seem fair. Trust the great mystery and always remain in faith and love. Love is the highest frequency in the world. And the more you navigate with love in the heart, the easier it will be for you to find your way. That is truly your GPS in your journey. And it should be for all of us. If we all navigated with the love in our faith in our heart, which is the highest frequency, just think of how much more beautiful this world would be. So that's what I have for you, beautiful souls, today. If any of this resonates, kindly hit sub, like, comment for more videos like this. And I'm going to throw up a fundraiser. Would mean the world to me if you could donate $1, $2. If every one of us donated $1, $2, man, 1,000 people would be $1,000. And what this donation does is it provides support for people in crisis. That, it gives them resources to go talk to somebody. It helps survivors of suicide, stuff like that. So it is a very, very beautiful movement, and it would mean the world to me. I think we've raised now 600. Thank you so much for your donations. Thank you so much for the love, the likes, the comments on this channel. It truly means the world to me. And with that being said, have a beautiful, beautiful day.